Hold that thought, everybody. I'm David Cruz. We're in Montclair today, outside of the Jazz House. In our second half, we're going to talk to co-founder and once again, Grammy-nominated jazzman Christian McBride. But we begin today's show with an interview with Declan O'Scanlan. He is the Republican Senate Budget Officer. Let's start with that, and then we'll come back here. Inside now with Declan O'Scanlan. I was trying to remember if you were still the Senate Budget Committee officer, and you said yes, you were, and that you were going to regret it.
Yes, I'm a victim of my own competence.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a challenging job going forward, but look, I love doing it. It's great fun, and I'll do it just as I would have done whether there was President-elect Chitterelli or President-elect Show.
Or Governor-elect.
I'm sorry.
We
should start that one again. Look, who knows?
Running
maybe there'll be a rematch for the presidency. But yeah, look, I love the job, and there's a lot of work to be done. I've said now, Republicans have made the case for years that we are going to be facing a ticking time bomb. I said that throughout the last several years, that whoever the next governor is going to have this ticking time bomb planted directly in, we now know, her lap. There's a $4 billion structural deficit.
Let's hold off on that, because I do want to talk about that a little more, but I still want to have you pick through the rubble of last week and answer the question that everybody seems to have: is what happened?
It's, in hindsight, it's not hard at all to figure out what happened. This was a referendum, a message sent to Washington, particularly the president. Whether you love Donald Trump or loathe Donald Trump, he's one of the most polarizing figures in our lifetimes. Certainly one of the most polarizing president. And there's a high concentration of sophisticated, well-educated suburbanites that generally lean right. There's concentration of these people in New Jersey who don't like the president. They don't like his style, and they came out in droves to send a message. And you had a number of other factors, actions of D.C., the ICE raids here, which ticked off a number of people on a bipartisan basis right here in Monmouth County. You have the threat of the Gateway tunnel defunding. You put all these things together, and you can get to exactly where the math was. It's a shame. We really needed, it would have been, I think, certainly back Jack 100%, but the voters have spoken. Now we need to move on. And it's not hard to unpack that and see exactly what happened.
We all thought, and the polls all thought until the end, that this was much closer than it was. But those of us, and it's kind of a little bit, we see it now in retrospect, it seemed as if the whole controversy over the military records, that landed with a big thud, and then had the additional impact of getting Democrats motivated. Am I reading that correctly?
I don't know if the military records motivated people, and I don't know that landed with a thud. I think actually it did. Everything landed with a thud, other than people's wrath about D.C., the dysfunction there, and the president. Had you had Kamala Harris in the White House, it would have been a whole different race. I think Jack probably would have won. I think it could have been a big enough that, despite this margin, I think that swing could have been pretty dramatic. I'm not wishing for that. I'd rather have President Trump than President Harris, but you got to suffer the consequences winning elections. And look, every post-presidential election impacts New Jersey's elections. This is not unusual. Is it a little more extreme than normal? Yes, but so is the president himself. So it's, again, not too unusual. And look, we got another couple election cycles. Next year, I think there'll be another effort to make this about the president for our congressional races. We'll have to work doubly hard. But the year after that, you get to 27, where 3 years out of the last presidential election, 2 years into a Cheryl gubernatorial run.
Yeah.
It'll be about New Jersey and New Jersey issues in 27. And there's going to be a lot that happens between now and then that we'll have to run on.
So towards that end, what now? What does your party have to offer? Let's say for the next gubernatorial race. I mean, is it John DeMeo? Is it Anthony Bucco?
Well, to run for governor?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of great folks on our
Declan
bench.
O'Scanlan?
I'm
I'm just throwing names out here.
We will rule nothing out. But look, it is the timing might be right. And it will be a referendum on, it will have nothing to do with President Trump at that point. There won't be a President Trump at that point. It will be all about New Jersey. And there's gonna be a lot of challenges over this next 4 years. Look, do I root? So if you really care about New Jersey, just like if you really care about the United States of America, you should be Democrat or Republican rooting for Donald Trump's success. So having the things he does make this country better. The same thing here in New Jersey.
He makes it hard to root for him, Senator.
Well,
right?
but
we can
I'm
both
gonna
agree on that.
But no, unless you are not a patriot, you need just like Republicans should have been rooting for Barack Obama's success. Just like Republicans now should be rooting for Mikey Sherrill's success in New Jersey. If you love these places, that's your obligation morally.
I know what you're saying, but at least Barack Obama didn't, figuratively flip the bird.
No, you're missing my point. You're missing my point. It's an obligation of a patriot to root for the success of whoever the president is. It's an obligation of someone who loves New Jersey to root for the governor, no matter who he or she may be. I rooted for the success of Phil Murphy. It was a dismal failure, the Murphy administration. I like him personally, by the way, but our budget is a mess, and you name it. There's a number of other areas where we kicked the can down the road. We relied on $22 billion in federal largesse, but it's your obligation, if you really do care about the state and you really do care about the country, to root for whoever's leading it, the success of whoever's leading it. We need to give Mikey Sherrill every opportunity to succeed, while still abiding by our values. And we'll do that. And we will then have a referendum on the first Sherrill 4 years, 4 years from now. I look forward to that. And I look forward to the years intervening, continuing to do what we've done, which is to call out the reality of the policies on the ground. And by the way, Republicans have been right, virtually every year of this administration.
Have you met with her? I mean, I guess she met with the Senate Minority Leader. Did she take a group of Republicans into a room? Not
yet. It's my understanding that will happen next, or it will happen at some point.
So size her up for me. I mean, you have seen her on the campaign trail. I don't know how much of interaction you've had with her, but give me your sense of Mikey Sherrill, governor-elect.
Look, she's been classy so far, so I'm encouraged by that. On the flip side, I'm hearing they just want a clean house. If that's done indiscriminately, that won't necessarily be a great way to start. But she's reached out across the aisle to our leaders. I'm encouraged, and it's too soon to make any real judgments. But look, during the campaign, it's a huge battle. The campaign is over, and now we've got to start doing everything we can to do what's in the best interest of New Jersey. And that means working with each other. And I'm looking forward to presenting every opportunity for that.
All right, let's talk about the thing that you love best.
We're going to talk about beer?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh, good. Let's do that.
Lager versus...
IPAs suck. Let's be clear on that. That's my answer to that.
Did you say IPAs suck?
They do, yes. IPAs suck. So
I don't even know what IPA stands for.
India Pale Ale, I think.
India Pale Ale.
I think so, yes.
That sounds
regardless, they suck, no matter what it stands for.
The IPAs suck? The team suggests.
See? There. This is why I love you guys.
So, all right. The other thing that you love talking about beside beer is the state budget. And I think you called it a steaming pile of I don't know what.
Steaming
the
pile
last.
of deficit.
Yes,
Yes.
that's it. So give Mikey Cheryl the lowdown on what's coming.
Yeah, she's got major, major issues. And look, I wish she had joined us in speaking out about the issues facing New Jersey years ago. Maybe Phil Murphy and the Murphy administration would have done something different. We have a $4 billion structural deficit. I don't care the mincing of words of the other side of the aisle, the Murphy administration. They now have admitted it because we challenged them in their disclosures to rating agencies, and they had to admit it. We spent our surplus down by 1.7. We've got a $1.3 billion contribution to the state of New Jersey program. We spent the last 600 million of our debt defeasance money down, hundreds more millions in other one
All the
shots.
federal money gone, right?
And all the 22 billion, last penny of that will be spent the day the Murphy administration leaves office, which leaves the Cheryl administration with a ticking time bomb that is going to explode right away, unless they decide to kick the can down the road themselves, which will not be good for New Jersey.
Yeah.
But it's a mess. And it was avoidable. And we could have done simple reforms of the school funding formula, simple prospective, pretty easy, painless pension health benefits reforms, and been saving billions of dollars a year right now. None of that happened. The Murphy administration kicked the can down the road with, by the way, the acquiescence of people like Mikey Cheryl. So I'm hopeful she will be a better governor than a non-outspoken member of Congress. But that is going to be, that's reality and undeniable. And again, I said I'm more than willing to work with her. I'm looking forward to trying to work with the administration. And I know some of the folks involved with this administration, and they're good people, good young people who are very good at policy. And I am hopeful that we can come together and begin to fix this mess. But it's going to be much harder than it would have been had the Murphy administration taken action 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. That opportunity has been squandered. And it doesn't exist in the same form going forward.
Should we tell people right now that the Anchor program or the Stay NJ program or both are not long for this world? Because, I mean, if things happen the way you say they're going to happen, there's going to be no money for that stuff.
Well, no, it depends on what your priorities are. If you prioritize tax relief, you find the money for those things, and you look at the rest of the budget and you make painful cuts other places. We have a $60 billion budget. The Murphy administration has increased spending dramatically. So
what do you cut?
That's the question. Where do you cut?
That was my question.
And look, again, we have the Murphy administration. About $8 billion was increased school aid and pension numbers out of our 20 whatever billion dollars in increased spending. You have to make your pension payment. That's non-negotiable. The school funding, again, we increased our school funding over the past 8 years by 50%, by $4 billion. And we're shoveling money to districts like Newark that are setting it on fire. You try to claw back some of that money. And by the way, we should be holding the Newark school system to at least baseline levels of ethics and transparency, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So you start there, and then you look at every other line item in the budget. But you don't instantly say that tax relief is the first thing that's cut. No, the Democrats in the legislature have pledged they're going to do these things. So that shouldn't be the first place that's cut. In fact, it should be the last. Speaker Coughlin has to run again in 2 years. If they slash those programs that he and his Democrats in the legislature have been running on for 2 years, pledging they're going to make this happen, at their own risk should they make those cuts. So no, you got to look at other more difficult areas, reprioritize our spending decisions, and find the money other places. It will not be easy. It's going to be brutal. I told that to Jack. I said it publicly. It's going to be tough. And that gets right back to the steaming hot pile of deficit that the Murphy administration is leaving us with. It's brutal, despite their protestations of me speaking that truth. Despite rating agencies' increases, they're myopic. They're looking at just a momentary snapshot. It's pretty disgraceful. And again, these are the same rating agencies that gave us AAA ratings or AA ratings just before the fiscal meltdown of 2008, 2009. Zero credibility. We know the real numbers. We've been speaking them loudly, and we will continue to do so because we're right.
All right, budget season will be upon us soon enough. Republican Senate Budget Officer Declan O'Scanlan, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on.
You too, Dave. Thank you for having me, my friend. Appreciate it.
Back inside the Jazz House now with our friend and once again Grammy-nominated jazz band Christian McBride. Bro, good to see you.
How you doing, my man?
Hanging in there. So this is, you probably don't even know how many times you've been nominated for Grammys.
I don't.
I think it's like 14, something like that. You got 9 wins.
I actually think it's this year makes 19.
19 nominations?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Over how many years?
I received my first Grammy in 2004. So how long is that?
I wasn't aware it was mad. 21 years. Yeah, 21 years. Was that for a big band?
My first one was for a recording I did with McCoy Tyner. Huh. And I was quite unaware that I was even eligible. So I received this mysterious box in the mail from the Recording Academy. I was like, what's this? I thought it was like, you know, a Christmas gift or something like that, you know, a little basket. I opened it up. It's a Grammy. I went, what?
Yeah.
You know.
You've had 9 wins. They haven't all been for big band efforts. And over the past year or two, you did some duo work, you did septet work. Which of those is a preference?
I don't know if I have a preference. You know, as a working musician, I just take the gigs as they come.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Can we talk about this place? All the years I've known you, and Melissa Walker, his wife, co-founders of this place. In all the years I've known you, I've never been here.
Yes.
And it just has a great vibe to it. Tell people what happens here.
I think what happens here is it's the equivalent of a clubhouse, school, church, a gathering place, all in the name of jazz. And I always feel uncomfortable taking any sort of credit for the success of this place, because what Melissa does on a daily basis, and I'm talking about boots on the ground, making this thing happen. You know, I just call up my famous friends who, you know, come and do a concert a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
But watching what, you know, her vision come to fruition and watch it become even bigger, and then right across the hall, right across the parking lot there is going to be our new building. So the dream just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
That's the thing, man, too. You know, it's one thing, it's been around a lot of nonprofits in my day, and it's one thing to run programs.
Right.
But once you get a facility, it kind of permanentizes you, doesn't it?
That's right. That is exactly right. Because now it's about maintenance, keeping the 4 walls up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to say running the programs is the easy part, but now you have to look beyond that and just keeping the building intact, literally.
So much is involved in running a school, you know, and so do kids come here to learn math, reading, writing?
Oh, no. It's through jazz, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I always, there's math, history, problem solving, all within learning how to play jazz. Because if you're learning how to read music, that's math. Because, you know, you're learning 16th notes, 8th notes. So when you're reading music, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 7, whatever the time signature is. So you have to learn math to be able to read music. You're being creative. You're learning how to voice your opinion. Your voice is being heard while in the company of other voices. You know what I mean? So I like to say we are teaching democracy through the lens of jazz.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember Rhonda Hamilton from WBGO.
I just saw her a couple of nights ago.
Oh, yeah,
I was in
that's
Los
awesome.
Angeles and I saw her.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love Rhonda.
Oh, Rhonda, you're the best.
She really is. But she always talked about how she used the same analogy.
Yeah.
Of course, her husband is a of
great
world
Michael
famous drummer
Carvin,
Michael
yeah.
Carvin.
Yeah.
So she always says that it was spontaneous composition.
Yeah.
And really individuals talking shit to one another, but understanding one another all the same, and then projecting that out.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And that's what I love about that. I think that's why I fell in love with jazz as a kid, because you really can hear someone's individuality in how they play. You can't really hear that in a lot of other styles of music. You can hear that in maybe one or two people, but not the entire band.
Well, I always base it on, to me, a song is good if the solos in the song represent the players. And a lot of times contemporary music, there's no representation of the bass player or the guitar player.
That's right.
But in jazz, everybody gets to speak.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We were talking about Melissa.
Yeah.
I don't think I know your origin stories. Did you meet Cute? How did that come about?
We didn't actually connect until 2003, and they had a big anti-war rally from Times Square to Washington Square Park. That was on March 22nd, 2003. And after
you get points for having a date right.
Yeah. So after the rally, I went to go see our mutual friend, the great Ron Blake, was playing with my old friend Joey DeFrancesco at the Jazz Standard, and Melissa and I connected there at the club, and I had my buttons on, and I had my placard, leave Afghanistan now, America, you have blood on your hands. And Melissa was like, you were at the rally? I said, yeah. She's like, me too. She's like, oh, that's so amazing that you're an activist. I wouldn't, you always think you're too busy for stuff like that. I was like, well, hey, I believe in peace, and what's going on is wrong. And Melissa's like, oh, that's so hot.
Oh, that's classic.
Maybe she didn't say that, but that's how I interpreted it.
That's how you remember it, right? And that's how the story gets told. So that is a meet cute, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's meet cute.
Yeah.
And so now you do so much stuff. I tried to narrow it down, and it just all falls into jazz, man, I think, because you are involved in all aspects. Not the least of which is as a curator of jazz festivals. And we've got one of your bigger projects coming up, the TD James Moody Jazz Fest at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. For the uninitiated, tell them who James Moody is.
Oh, James Moody was one of the greatest jazz legends ever, whose early days was spent in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
Which is why the festival was named after him. When I was growing up in Philadelphia, I underestimated the legacy of Newark, because I always thought of Philly and New York, those were the places. Anything in between was secondary. But the older I got and I started realizing how many icons are from Newark.
Name check, go ahead.
Oh, let's go with Wayne Shorter. Let's go with Sarah Vaughan. Let's go with Woody Shaw. Let's go with Larry Young. Let's go with Hank Mobley. There's so many people. And then when I realized that James Moody had also spent, I believe he was born in the South, but raised in Newark. I just had such a deep, profound respect for Newark. And James Moody was Dizzy Gillespie's right-hand man for a very, very long time. For those of you who follow this music, you may know the song that Moody's Mood for Love. That was based off of a James Moody solo, made popular by King Pleasure. And so Moody's legacy is alive and well, and his wife, Linda, works very, very hard at making sure the Moody legacy stays alive.
Yeah, I wrote this down because you love singers, clearly. You got the aforementioned Samara Joy, Diane Reeves, Jeffrey Osborne, Jose James, and a guy named Gordon Sumner, who goes by the nickname of Sting.
Right.
All on this record. where the band seems to be like just kind of chilling and letting the singers do their thing.
Right. Yeah, so my new album, which was nominated for a Grammy, called Without Further Ado, Volume 1, is basically a singer's album, an arrangers/singers album, which, again, stems directly from my involvement at NJPAC. So since 2012, I've been artistic advisor for jazz programming there. And as I mentioned, once a year, either my big band is going to be the house band at the gala, or it's going to play one concert at the festival, or both.
Yeah.
So every year since 2012, I've had the honor of writing big band arrangements for all of these incredible singers that have come in to be a guest with the big band. So, I mean, we've had everyone from the late Al Jarreau, Jeffrey Osborne, Diane Reeves. I've been piling up all of this music that has only been played once for these NJPAC concerts. So when it came time to make a new big band album, I had to look no further than my own filing cabinet.
Nice.
You know, I said, well, let me record some of this music just to, you know, say that I played it more than once.
Yeah.
Now, there were a couple of tracks that I had written specifically for the album. One was the track with Sting and Andy Summers, and another one was for Samara Joy. But literally everything else was something that I had done at NJPAC.
All right, well, we love this record, and we love hanging out with you, brother.
Oh, you
always
are the man.
good to see you.
You're as much of a legend as Sarah Vaughan. Come on, man.
And that's Hold That Thought for this week. Our thanks also to Declan O'Scanlan for joining us, and to you for liking and subscribing. I'm David Cruz. Thanks for streaming. We'll see you next week.